Mr. Casey, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite, and hopefully, hopefully you do the same.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, we are looking forward to talking to you because you're running in a very interesting seat in Escambia County, District 1, the County Commission seat, currently held by Mr. Robinson, the chairman, and pretty popular candidate. So you really got a lot of stuff that you're looking at that you can say, here's how I separate me from the incumbent and from the others that are running. So let's get right into it right away. And Mr. Casey, tell us a little bit about yourself and your family, but then why are you running? Give us that idea, because I know a lot of folks want to hear your heart as to why you threw your hat in the ring.
Well, the heart is a key word. First of all, I want to thank WEBY for allowing me to voice my concerns. I've been married for 35 years. I have one daughter, two sons, two granddaughters, one grandson, and one great-grandson. I was born in Monroeville, Alabama. Moved to Hogan Road when I was 4 years old back in 1957. Walked to Bellevue Elementary, Bellevue Middle School. Been in the heart of the district since 1957. So I've invested a lot into the community.
Mm-hmm.
Had to pack a suitcase and go out of town to work periodically because Pensacola has never really had that much work. I've worked in construction for over 46 years, starting at the early age of 13. After school and weekends, I worked my way up through the crafts, residential, commercial, industrial, nuclear power. The last nuclear power plant I was at, I was a consultant for Public Service of Indiana. I was right below project manager. Mm-hmm. There was 5 of us. Renegotiated all contracts from a lump sum contract to a cost reimbursable type.
Mm-hmm.
Then 8,000 employees fell under us. I filled a civil structural estimating position at the same time. And and I've held GC general contracting license for Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. I currently hold I'm a state certified general contractor for Florida. I do mostly concrete,
Mm-hmm.
hands-on, do a lot of residential small jobs. I can finish two truckloads of concrete by myself with my own hands.
Goodness. I don't know how many of you have worked with concrete, but let me just say there's very few things, if anything, that I dislike more than working with concrete. That's some hard work right there. But I guess if you get the skill down, maybe you found ways to make it easier. I don't know.
Well, to sum it up, I've been to the top of the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people that you know has went to the top of the ladder, getting dressed every day with a suit and a tie, and then come back down and love digging ditches for a living?
Well, you know what? That's very true. That is a unique deal. Well, I have to say, Mr. Casey, I was spending some time. By the way, if you want to follow along with us or you have some questions, again, the number is 623-1330. JesseCasey.net is the website. You can go to start getting some information. JesseCasey.net. That's JesseCasey.net. And Mr. Casey, not a lot of folks may have heard from you, but I was doing some research last night. I got to say, I got to give you props, because right on the front page of your website, there's you standing there with a couple of nice bass right by the riverbank. I'd vote for you just for that right there. So most folks know I love fishing, so I got to say that's pretty cool. But getting back to the real issues here, other than fishing, let's talk about the economics in Escambia County. You'd already mentioned a couple of things right before we came on that you see as perhaps egregious for businesses to have to deal with in Escambia County. Tell us some of those things and some of your ideas of fixing this stuff to make it to where we can get better businesses and jobs in Escambia County.
Right. I believe in jobs. That's what I stand on, jobs. I've had to go out of town to work so many times. And, we've got a couple nice colleges here, UWL, Pensacola State College. And when these kids graduate, where are they going to go to work? They're going to have to go out of town. One thing that I'm real concerned about is contracts. For instance, awarded contract $3,500, 5 change orders later, is $116,000. That's 3,300% increase. Another one, $5,000. Two change orders later is now $245,000. That's 4,900% increase. When I go bid a job, if I go bid a job to do your driveway, I have to tell you exactly how much it's going to be, material and labor. If I miss it by 2 yards or 3 yards, I've got to eat that. Okay? The way the system is, anything under $50,000 increments, you can negotiate it. You don't even have to go out for bids. So, and then the other thing is, anytime you look on the agenda, and it comes up piggyback, to break it down to a simple, in my layman terms, is that piggyback is like a national buying club. You can piggyback off the state of Florida, some other contract that's been let. Okay, when you associate piggyback, I look at it like that money is going out of town. Very seldom do they spend that local. How hard is it if you're going to buy a piece of equipment, a tractor, to pick up the phone and call the handful of tractor places and encourage them, even though it's on the website and anybody has access to bid on this, you're not encouraging. So I think you need there's a lot of people and there's a lot of business. You need to give the locals the opportunity first. You need to encourage them. Hire local, spend local. If you don't have the qualified people or businesses, then we got sister counties such as Santa Rosa County. Reach out to them. There's people here that are overlooked. That's already in the system. We don't have to go out of town to do all this. The Airbus and that's coming to Alabama. Real appreciative of the crumbs that we're going to get off of that. We got Softly Navy Base just been sitting there. It's got an active VOR. Why? Why is it that we didn't get something like that? Why is it that we're not working hard to move something there? And going back to the spending, I've lived less than a half a mile from Softly landfill, and all my life, and watched the T-34s touch and go. Couldn't even hear yourself think. And we're going to spend $8 million, that's if there's no change orders, to take it down 4 feet. It's 130 feet elevation. It's going to come down to 126 on the north side. The south side facing Softly Field Road, they're going to bring it down. It's going to be 30 feet. And this is what I've been told, and they keep saying it. They're going to put a 8-foot privacy fence around it, and not a 6-foot, but an 8-foot. And they're telling that, hey, you're not going to see that mound behind that. Now, hello, the community. Yeah, the community. I mean, they're a little smarter than that, even on the west side. Number one was Softly landfill. First of all, our county should have never taken it over. They should have let the state handle it and not burden the taxpayers with it. That's the first mistake. Okay. The second one is a campaign promise over 4 years ago to seal it, and now we're just putting a shovel into it now. Almost 5 years later, we're just now putting a shovel into it. That's what you call governmental red tape. That needs to go away. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it. We should have sealed it 4 years ago, 5 years ago, or once we made the first mistake, we should have corrected it by going ahead and sealing it. The material they're putting over it, they say is a 30-year life. But I don't know if I'll see it, but my grandkids, they'll see it. Your grandkids, they'll see it. You take this, it looks like an AstroTurf, and you put it on top of this mound after you reshape it. Okay, the dust blows, dirt builds up on it, birds fly over, they drop seeds, and roots, trees grow up. The roots, just imagine what roots do to concrete. It'll raise up concrete. It'll break concrete. Now, what's it going to do to this liner that's putting over top of it? Mm-hmm. It's
So you're walking out and you're going door to door. We're about to have to take a break here in just a second, but you're doing a lot of door to door. Is this one of the big issues now? Because that is your area that you're talking about here. You got a lot of folks concerned. Does it look like this is going to be a future issue, that something needs to be redone then at the landfill?
That's not one of the real. There's a lot of people that's glad that we're finally doing something with it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of concern about the amount of money that they're spending, and when the county could probably took their county trucks and their equipment and their people and possibly did this for less dollars, saved the taxpayer some money. Mm-hmm. But the door to door is positive. When the people, the majority, the 98% of the people that are in District 1, mm-hmm. They can relate to Jesse Casey. He's the guy that gets up every morning. He's the guy that has the old 2 Chevrolet truck, pulling the old blue trailer with the orange Kubota on the back, going to work mm-hmm. and coming home Monday through Friday and Saturday. And, unfortunately, sometimes when life was good, I did work Sundays. Mm-hmm. But, it's been a while since I think any of us has had to do that.
Well, let's go ahead. We're going to take this break, Mr. Casey, and when we get back, we're going to have more questions about some of the things you're hearing in the community as you're going door to door, and your platform that you're running on for County Commissioner District 1 in Escambia County. It's Open Mic. I'm Mike Mashburn. We'll be right back.
It was the moment I realized I was about to lose my job.
I found myself searching for pills instead of just being with my family.
At that moment, I finally decided to get help from my addiction to opioids.
The prescription painkillers.
At turntohelpnow.com, you'll learn that opioid dependence is a real medical condition and that there are different ways to get help, including those in a private setting, without the need for daily visits.
That moment led me to turntohelpnow.com.
Make now your moment. Visit turntohelpnow.com today.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Ryan, technician with Safelite Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. With Safelite, you get more. Every windshield we replace is backed by a national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Plus, Safelite has more glass in stock than anyone, so we can get to you faster.
Just tell your insurance company you want Safelite, or call us at 1-800-800-2727, or go to safelite.com.
When was the last time you got out to the shooting range? Are you a new gun owner looking for somewhere to practice with your new gun? Hi, I'm Mike Robinette with Escambia River Muzzleloaders, and our members shoot all kinds of guns in addition to black powder. Besides being a great place to sight in your favorite rifles, we have organized competitions for muzzleloaders, cowboy action, self-defense-oriented IDPA, military rifle, and black powder cartridge, and we also conduct concealed carry classes. For one low annual membership fee, you can enjoy our 4 ranges of covered shooting benches 6 days a week. To join our club, you must be a member of the NRA or the National Muzzleloader Rifle Association. You can get more information and download a membership form from our website at www.erml-gunclub.org or stop by one of our member locations such as Tradewinds Pawn and Gun on Highway 98 in Navarre, or our Pensacola locations such as Uber's Lock and Gun, Jay's Guns and Accessories 2, or Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. I hope you will come out and join us and help us to preserve the Second Amendment.
From Bruton to Pace to Pensacola, Emerald Coast Coins is the leading buyer for your gold and silver coins, coin collections, or unwanted jewelry. Hi, I'm Steve Gerlach, owner of Emerald Coast Coins. Visit the places that pay the highest prices, beat written appraisals, or offer percentage buying. Then come see us. We don't make any outrageous claims, just honest, fair pricing, whether buying or selling. As always, you always get the honesty and respect you deserve at Emerald Coast Coins.
For the honesty and respect that you deserve, see them on Dogwood Drive in Milton and North 9th Avenue in Pensacola.
Well, we're coming to your city.
right, it's 8:48, 8:49 here in 3 seconds, 2, 1. There it is, 8:49 atomic time. You can set your watch or your car clock or whatever you happen to be at by that. And it's legitimate. It actually really is. Hey, good morning again, folks. So this has been a little different edition of Open Mic, but we do have phone lines open. If you have a question for Jesse Casey for County Commissioner District 1, he is a Republican and running against the incumbent and others, and looks forward to hearing from you. So if you have a question, by all means, jump on that line, 623-1330, and we'll be glad to let you through and ask the question. Mr. Casey, getting back to some of the issues that we were talking about here, on your website you list better district communications, and had made a very big point to say that you feel there should be a more direct communication path to the citizens and taxpayers of District 1. Tell us a little bit about your ideas of making that happen.
Well, I think if you're out with the people, you understand exactly what they want. You're not going to be able to please 100% of the people, but your elected officials, they represent the people. And I think the politicians, they forget who works for who. And I think you need to be out in the community talking to the people, not just an isolated handful working for special interest. If you do what the majority of the people asked you to do, they're not gonna tell you to do anything illegal or unethical. Mm-hmm. So that's what your job is supposed to do. You're supposed to listen to them and do exactly what they want. And I think I'm the type person that if elected, I'd rather be out in District 1, walking the streets, talking to people, mm-hmm. than sitting up in the 4-story building downtown with my feet propped up on the desk.
Well, we do have some callers calling in this morning for you, Mr. Casey, and the first caller in this morning is Carl. Hey, Carl, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Mike, can you hear me okay? My phone's got a little buzz.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I appreciate you coming in, Mr. Casey. In fact, I went to Bellevue Elementary School a couple of years ahead of you, so we're West Side guys originally. I'm in Santa Rosa County now.
You got to be a good guy. That's all I think I got to say.
It was some good times. We've seen a lot of things happen since we grew up. I used to see a lot of businesses that would start in the home or next to the home, like White Cycle Shop. You're probably familiar with those guys over there.
Roy and Ray.
Years ago. Good people. Started in a little shop next to their daddy's house, father's house, and then we'd go to Runt's Machine Shop in different places. What I'm saying is these little shops are the fabric of the American economy, and we've lost that. We just had Mr. out a fence that he was going to put up on his commercial property that would have cost around $6,000. Code enforcement got involved. They wanted retention ponds and landscaping and irrigation systems, and the improvements cost $55,000. to get that $6,000 fence built. So what I'm saying, are we killing business by doing these kind of things? And how can we trust the American people to maybe they'll create a nice landscape on their own if we just leave them alone and maybe give them some advice? Instead of having that guy go out there with a gun on his hip, maybe he could go out there with a brochure and flip through and say, Mr. Kelly, this is what other people have done here, and if you can't do it right now, maybe you could do this much, and these are the trees that would work really well for you, mm-hmm. but this is our recommendations. But we're not going to hit you with a $50,000 bill for trying to improve your business. And, Does that make any sense to anybody else?
Yeah, and that's right up Mr. Casey's alley. And Carl, I'm going to let you go and let him answer online, okay? We were just talking about that at the beginning of us getting started with you, those change contracts. How do you see going about changing how these change contracts come about?
I think what you need to do, back up to answer his question more direct and precise. Mm-hmm. That's the reason, your question, Carl, is the reason that I encourage everybody to get out and vote. Vote. It's important. The changes. First of all, I think you need to spend the extra effort, take the extra time to make the contract a contract, and not just throw it out on the table there and the low bid gets it. And they're not even making an effort to bid this. Start making an effort to bid these contracts so it's reasonable. It's a fair system. But I think what you got to do is your elected officials, they got to regain your trust.
Let's go. We have another caller. Mr. Casey, the next caller in this morning is Mike. Mike, go ahead. You're on with Jesse Casey.
Hey, good morning. I've just got a comment about Jesse. I met him 3 years ago through my builder. Came out to my house, did all my concrete work for me. I had a little issue out in the street. I had a big slope on my property, and a bunch of dirt got out in the street. Jesse came over there after dark and took care of this for me, would not take any money. Cleared that out of the street, which would have probably taken me 4 or 5 hours with a shovel, which I'd already attempted and started to do. Another thing, I had to dig a 200-foot line to put some power in for gut power to come out, and Jesse came out and dug that with his backhoe. And this is way before he ever even thought about getting into the county commissioner. So he's just a great guy and a great friend, and he will do everybody the same way. I think he's a man for our district. Very helpful. You call him, he'll be there too. And that's what we all need out in our district. And I just wanted to say that about Jesse on his behalf. And he is a great man.
Good job, Mike. Thanks for your information and your input. I appreciate it. And Mr. Casey, I know you enjoy that endorsement as well.
I appreciate that, but my attitude is that, and I do appreciate that comment. My attitude is, and this is the way I've always been. When I go do something for somebody, or whether it's a profit or nonprofit organization or a church or an individual, I do it with no strings attached, and I do it out of the goodness of my heart. And that's the way you should do things. You shouldn't use nonprofits or anything you do for people as a political campaign.
We have exactly a minute and a half right now, Mr. Casey. Give us your final picture in the minute and a half why Jesse Casey should be the next county commissioner representing District 1.
I think, first of all, I'm not going to disappoint anybody. I am who I am. I'm not perfect. I wasn't created perfect. But I speak from my heart. And I'm going to do the right things. I'm going to do the right thing the first day, the second day, the third day. And you can count on me. I'm going to represent the majority of the people. And those that I can't, if you have a question, there's something that I can't make happen. I owe you the common courtesy to come talk to you and ask for additional information. So hey, help me do this for you. I'm working for you. It's not about me. It's not about any politician whatsoever. It's about you, the taxpayer, working day to day. I want to be your full-time voice. I can legally vote 100% of the time. I don't have to abstain from any conflict, and that's what we need in District 1. That's what you need in District 1. What you've got to do, you've got to go to the polls and vote. There's very little turnout because people are discouraged. We've got to bring them back. We got to show that we can.
You're right. That's going to wrap it up, Mr. Casey. I'd love to let you keep going, but unfortunately, CNN News is about to come on, and we have to stop. But thank you for being with us. JesseCasey.net, JesseCasey.net. That's the webpage, Mr. Casey. Thanks again for your time and being here, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right. God bless you, sir, and God bless all of you. We'll be back tomorrow.